The comic where Static returned to the DC universe was leaked by DC itself. And because the Dakota incident dropped early on DC Infinite, there's been a ton of discourse regarding whether or not this was DC actively cutting out the legs from underneath the Milestone universe. And I gotta say, from the outside in, looking at it as a fan, this does look like a massive oversight. And I'm not trying to be mean Dan today and say that DC has some of the worst marketing ever when it comes to their comics, but I'm kinda getting tilted with no replies from any official sources whatsoever. So I reach out to some content creators in hopes that they might be able to teach me about what's actually going on. And those people were BJ Kicks from Comics Are Dope, Jay Penumbra, and Ernie from The Blurb Without Fear. And BJ was the one that helped me understand the workings of why the book was going to be out digitally the same day it was in stores rather than the typical month-long delay. And the same day release is actually because DC makes their cultural anthologies available in the Infinite app the same day as their release in stores. The Dakota incident is the product that's been designated as the replacement for DC Power as the 2026 Black History Month celebration book. That being said, it would make sense why it's out on the same day. While Jay, on the other hand, let me know that there are some creators out there that think this was a plot against them. And when I hit up Ernie, well, I let him speak for himself.
Hi, it's Ernie the Blur Without Fear, and I just wanted to tap in real quick just to remind you all that yes, it has in fact been over 1100 days since we have had a ongoing title for a black superhero in main continuity that was not part of an ensemble, not part of an alternate universe. I think I just recently saw on Twitter that Scott Snyder, who is, the architect of, the absolute universe, basically said that, oh no, just wait, there's more titles, we just don't, we just can't show them yet. You know what, that honestly just to me sounds like you're dating a girl that goes to another school. That's what that sounds like. Anyway, I'm gonna let Dan continue to exclaim.
Thanks, Aaron. I appreciate you coming by, and I assure you, when it comes to something like this, I'm gonna keep on exclaiming, because the question still remains. Why was the comic leaked early? Because Rich Johnston from Bleeding Cool straight up told me on Threads that this was malpractice with no ill will. So if it was just some intern who accidentally made the comic active, let us know. Cause look, obviously it wasn't anything malicious, but the silence is complicity. And now people think that DC is actively trying to hurt Milestone because that's what it literally looks like. And I wouldn't even be making this video if Milestone wasn't getting fucked for the past 30 years. And don't even get me started on the one dude who's been advocating for this book on Threads, because at the end of the Dakota incident, there's not one mention of Dwayne McDuffie. No in loving memory, no happy birthday, nothing. So look, if someone from DC sees this video, feel free to reach out, or you can reply back to me on social media. Don't be frightened, I'm not an actual robot. This thing actually only goes on the fritz when I get left on red.